Check 1 2 3. Sorry about that. Hey, everybody. Sorry for the mic difficulties. It was muted. Easy fix. I'm Willie B, here with the Card Guys today. Hoping to talk to you about Azalea, everybody's favorite down and out hero. Oop, ignore that. Ignore that. Don't mind that. That's just what I read the chat on, and it happened to be playing back the sounds. But yeah, the Azalea cult, they would have you believe that she's our Lord and Savior, the Queen. I would like to say that she's a kind of a downtrodden hero who's, the up and comer, the one who's always fighting for their chances to get in just barely. But honestly, I think Azalea is kind of a house now. She's a force to be reckoned with. So yes, with sound now, Martin. Willie B now with sound. But yeah, how's everybody doing? Did you guys have a good weekend? Are you looking forward to Valentine's Day? Is anybody gonna gift their Valentine an Azalea starter deck? That's the kind of stuff to really get the mood flowing. Can't hear me? You should be able to hear me now, Joshua, I would imagine. I think I unmuted, unless that wasn't the problem. I hope that was the problem. That would certainly ease my worries. No, wait, you can definitely hear me because I could hear myself. So yeah, stop pulling my leg. 1 second, I have to fix something really quick. But don't go anywhere. How was everybody? Did anybody do anything exciting this weekend? Did you take down an armory? Did you win a battle hardened? If your name's Yuki Bender, you did. There we go. There we go. All right, cool. Sorry about that. I want to be able to read the chat while it's on the fly. All right. Well, let's rock and roll. Let's talk about Azalea. This was the list that I took this weekend to Connecticut. By the way, starting off with a scofflaw basement tonight, but I have a whole litany of beers that I want to show off this evening. And I'm curious, what kind of brews are you drinking this evening too? If you're not drinking one right now, and you don't have some underlying condition that prevents you from drinking one, why don't you go grab a beer and crack one open with your boy? You got a little bit left in this one before I crack open a new one so we can toast. So maybe hold off until then. But this is Big Booty Judy. This is what I took to Connecticut this past weekend for the Battle Hardened. Now I will be 100 with you, as the young people put it. I didn't really want to play Classic Constructed this past weekend in Hartford. I really kind of was sealed and draft focused in my prep. I really wanted to just perform in sealed, and as well as you can perform in sealed, and mostly wanted to have a real good crack at that draft if I managed to make day 2. As it turns out, it's hard to stay X2 and sealed in an 8-round event if you don't open just the absolute nuts. So I went 5 and 3. 1 too many losses to make it to draft, which is fine. I'm not upset with that performance. I think for sealed, 5 and 3 is pretty good. I opened an okay Kasai pool. It was good. It was not amazing. I think the main kicker was I didn't have much armor. I think I had 2 pieces of armor that blocked, and one of them only blocked 50% of the time. My opponent had to do something to turn it on, and it didn't come up often enough for it to actually count. So I'm X and 3, and I find myself needing something to do. Well, I did bring my Azalea deck. So this is what I played. I didn't do a ton of prep, unfortunately, so this wasn't I'm going to win with her. I just played her because I like her. But I think that she's secretly a good deck because I did pretty well. aside from like Bravo, it almost felt like I didn't have any bad matchups aside from Dromi. And one of my losses was to Aaron Shantz, who's a pretty good Dromi player, and he just did everything right. So can't be too mad at that. But yeah, I opened up a judge, jury, executioner during the sealed calling. So I didn't even need to go hit up a vendor. I just swapped out the hamstring shot that used to be here with a judge, jury, executioner. It did nothing all day. It blocked for 3. That was cool. I don't know. The people who have complained about this card, and it wasn't that many people, but I saw them on Twitter. Just like, you're ridiculous. This card it's a good card. It starts and ends with that. It's a good card. It's no soul reaping as far as legendary specializations go. Do you remember soul reaping? Um, and then, just typical bread and butter, all the Bolton shots. I have a one of Endless Era because I find it's always good. It very rarely am I mad that this thing came back to my hands, She wants to have an arsenal, so duh. Um, the laces are all great. There was a little bit of time where I was moving away from Lace with Frailty, but it's just great. Like, why would you? You're never mad at this card. It's often worth a good number of points, or at the very least 1 or 2, which is fine. On top of the pump itself. Of course, the mainstays, Premeditate, Ravenous Rabble, Read, which is amazing. Red in the Ledger, everybody knows, is just a cheat code, but it's just so important. And then I love running a one of Eye of Ophidia instead of the third Spire sniping. I actually think that's really fun, and it gives me an excuse to run a Fabled. Anybody saying anything? He's tracking down Rainbow Foil Aether Arcs for RTN season. Good luck to you. Ooh, you got a Bell's Two Hearted? Riga? I fucking love Bell's Two Hearted. That is a great beer. Big Booty Judy. Yep, that's her name. Sealed was great fun. I agree, Iron Song Life. It was pretty fun. I wish I had gotten one more dub. That would have been sweet, but it was a lot of fun. Blah, blah, blah. And then here's a sideboard, 2 battering bolts because they're poppers, and into warrior they're actually fairly relevant. That text, you'll make a warrior player read it twice. 2 CNCs because they're poppers, and if you ever get warmongers and you can go E-Strike into CNC, pretty good, not too shabby. Fatigue shot, really good into Guardian, and Brute to a smaller degree. Sink Belows, I was kind of upset with my Sink Belows all weekend. I was almost never happy to see them. I played against a Hatchet Dorinthia. Against her, it was okay. But outside of that, I was pretty annoyed with this card. An extra Sleep Dart to complement the 2 that are in the main board. Where are they? There they are. Sleep Dart is just kind of an all-star in so many matchups, especially Dromi. Like Red in the Ledger and Sleep Dart, if you're going to beat Dromi, are pretty pivotal. You need to shoot some dominated ones of these, or not even necessarily dominated, but like make it to where they don't get to have a turn, unless they block it out, or just make their job harder, basically. Raging Onslaught is just it's a popper like these before it, but it's a yellow popper, so it's just more it fills more holes, When you go up on cards for certain matchups, you need more blues / yellows, because yellows in Azalea are the same thing as blues. So Raging Onslaught just kind of does that job. Yeah, it's a popper that pitches and blocks for 3. That's literally it. Sometimes you throw it, but you better have a good reason to be throwing it. I think I won a clash with one against Victor. That was kind of neat. But yeah, it's just doing a job. It's not really anything flashy. But anyways, let's talk about how we can make this list better. I think this is a pretty standard, pretty stock Azalea list. It's nothing too flashy, but we can improve it, because I think certain cards were lacking over the weekend, and the meta is starting to shape up that I think we can make some manipulations to this that will benefit us. So, where do we start? Well, Enlightened Strike. I just talked about how Enlightened Strike really shines when you've been warmongered. But if I'm being completely honest with you, it was a little underwhelming. It was very rare that I was excited to see my Enlightened Strike. There's certain moments where the card shines, but I was more often than not pretty disappointed with it. So I think we're going to remove Enlightened Strike, and we're going to add an additional Drill Shot. Drill Shot felt good all weekend, and like every single matchup. I kept wishing I had more than 2. And I went down to 2 because this deck was mostly built with the help of like Taylor Crawford back when Dromi was kind of really rocking the meta when Tome of Imperial Flame was kind of new. So Drill Shot really doesn't do squat, especially into Royal Dromi. Like, because they're not going to block with their Furnace anyways. Like, you might steal the block off of it, which is good, but they're never going to let it break. If they get to choose between blocking with it or it like losing its 2 block, quote unquote, like they're just going to not block with it and lose the 2 block and like be able to still make ash off of it. So like against Dromi, I just didn't do that much. But there's more Guardians and Brutes in the format than ever, so Drill Shot is definitely going back to a 3 of. We dropped 3 E-Strikes, so what else are we going to put in? Honestly, my favorite arrow. I used to always question Azalea players why they didn't play this card, and they're like, that's not really an Azalea card, it's better in Lexi. And that's true, but Endless Arrow is the nuts, especially for certain matchups. Like in aggro matchups, you know, like say you're forced to block with a few cards and you can throw like Pump into Endless Arrow, or, you know, Death Dealer, load Endless Arrow, draw Pump, fire it. Like that's, you did that off of minimal cards, you know, and it's threatening damage plus an on hit maybe, and it definitely has the on hit of coming back to hand. So if it's aggro and you're forced to block and you're not doing like the crazy Red in the Ledger, they don't get to play the gameplay, or remorseless, like have your turn but it's going to kill you, then Endless Arrow is going to threaten damage and still let you keep an arsenal so you can still do pivot plays, still throw damage, and just, you know, have more decisions. And I think I like the idea of going up to 3 Endless Arrows. This is experimental. It should maybe just be 2. But Endless Arrow has been proving itself to be pretty good. And, you know, it's just another 0 for 4. I'm not going to be mad at it most of the time. All right, that's a start. We dropped 3 E-Strikes to put in more arrows. Often E-Strike was annoying because I just felt like it was too hard to make that play work, where I'd rather maybe just have loaded an arrow. And, you know, now we got more opportunities to do that with red cards that cost 0 and still block for 3. Some of you might have been wondering, let's see if anybody asked actually. I removed the other since Icelander's gone. Hey, what's up? I'm no traitor. I see Justin in the chat. Nobody said it, but only 1 red infecting shot. And you know, maybe that's pretty standard. But I was advised to run just 1 by a couple of friends, and it's proven to be good. But there were a lot of matches this weekend. I mean, I only lost 3, but 2 of them, I think my opponents were at like 2. And that's a blood rot, you know? That's the difference between a blood rot and no blood rot. So I think I want more infecting shots. Not to mention the way they play with aim counters, you know, like that's good if you ever have the blue for pitch, you know, or maybe a tunic that you want to just turn into 1 extra value. But how do I make room for more infecting shots? That is the question. Well, I believe the answer is Bolton Shot. Now, this is a weird one, because Bolton Shot is like the bread and butter of Rangers. It's so good. It's honestly just a bananas card. It's one of a few rares in this game that really feels like a rare, you know? I mean, I guess there's a lot of good rares. Less E-Strikes make me concerned about your ability to play around Warmongers. Yeah, you're probably right about that, Darkodius, but we're gonna just pretend that Warmongers doesn't exist, and the Dromi's I beat by ignoring dragons. I beat 2 out of 3 Dromis this past weekend in Connecticut, and the one I lost to was Aaron Chance. And he basically sat me down and said, "No, you do not get to ignore dragons," because he went Tome of Imperial Flame, Chromai, Miragai, Kyloria. And it's like, oh crap. Like, I'll ignore dragons because I have poppers, but you can't ignore Chromai, Miragai, Kyloria and like that combination, because he's going to be threatening draw every single turn. Your poppers are turned off, and if he ever gets out a second Chromai, you literally just lose the game. So it's like, yeah, E-Strike will help me clear the board, but I did exactly that against Chance. I cleared the board, and then he put out the same 3 problem dragons, or close enough to it. I cleared the board. I felt like a Guardian player trying to play into Prism, basically. I felt like I was clearing a Spectra and like hoping that he wasn't going to play 2 more Spectras, but it's Dromi, so he's going to. And yeah, he mopped the floor with me. He beat me 42-0. And E-Strike didn't make a difference. Like, my Bolden shots and whatnot didn't make a difference. Like, sometimes you're just going to lose a Dromi, so I'm fine with losing that small percentage that E-Strike was giving me. And we're going to pretend that Warmongers doesn't exist. Anyways, moving on to play less around Warmongers. I guess that really only applies to Rain Razors, but we're going to drop some Bolton shots too. We're going to lose 2 yellow Bolton shots. This one's weird because Bolton Shot's kind of amazing, especially for late game, like pitch Bolton Shots next to your Rain Razors and pretend you're Lexi for a turn. It's pretty good, especially if you can get a Codex in there for like the end. But it's so vanilla. Like, it's really only good if you can do something fancy off of it too. And we've got red ones and we've got blue ones. So it's like, I'm going to lose a couple of the yellows so that we can put in an Infecting Shot. Red. And then here's the kicker. Since we're dropping yellows, I think we need to put in a yellow. And did it go in? Yes, it did. So yellow Infecting Shots. Still a great card, and it's helping me, with the fact that I just dropped some yellows. So I think that's a good addition. I felt like I was missing these cards while I was there. And this is all kind of theory, kind of experimental. And if I was going to make any other changes on the weekend, it would honestly be Sink Below. I kind of hated this card. So let's get it out of there. And there was one card that I was really wishing I had all weekend, and that is Release the Tension. That I lost to a Hatchet's Dorinthia, who played well, but she played more defense reactions out of her arsenal than I have ever seen a player play. Like, I felt like my head was spinning at the end of it. She had Sink Belows, Fate for Scenes, Steelblade Shunts, Unmovables. She was in, this doesn't help with that, but she even played Down and Dirty to block out of Arsenal when I finally thought I had her for lethal. Like, so that was too much. Let's get some Release the Tensions in the deck. Not to mention, this card's going to shine against like Guardian and certain other matchups where they're just defense reaction heavy. Like, if you stop a Sink Below that's in their arsenal from blocking when you play this, is it not a 0 for 7? It's not, but it kind of feels like it, kind of. And yeah, that is all the changes that I could think of off the top of my head. The Endless Arrow is, again, maybe a little weird, because I've heard so many Azalea mains tell me that it's not worth it, but at the same time, I know that they're all on like a one of now, which is like, ooh, maybe the times are changing. Infecting Shot, of course, it's just too good, or at least I feel like it is, so I want more of it. We'll see if I really am hurting on less yellow Bolton shots. And then, yeah, these are just going to be coming in when I think I really need them. And there were a lot of moments where I felt like I really needed these. So, shall we jump into some games? I think that we should. Okay. And I'm going to polish this bad boy off and go grab another beer. Paste. Feel free to hop in if you feel like fighting Azalea. Can I not click that? There we go. I guess I could say open format, but I'd rather just do classic constructed. public, and let's rock and roll. Yeah, I'm gonna go grab a beer. Come and play with me if you want to. Oh, that was fast. Oh no, a Dromi. I'll go first. Hang on, I'll be right back. Oh, it's TheCardGuyz. What up, dude? All right, I'm back. So we're about to play against TheCardGuyz. He's a well-known and renowned Dromi player, so this is going to be a good one. But I just wanted to show off we're drinking Wicked Weed tonight. This is a Freak of Nature from Wicked Weed. It's a double IPA, so it's a little stout. Let's see what the percentage is. It's got to be on here somewhere. Oh, 8.5. 8.5% alcohol by volume. You know, it's actually not that high for a double. Cheers to you guys. Thanks for coming out. Ooh, that's good. It's very hoppy, as you would imagine for an IPA. All right, so how do we sideboard into Dromi? Well, it's actually not that hard. We drop a couple. We actually just drop one drill shot. And we need to drop, what is it, Remorseless? Oh, I can just click the Dromi button, duh. And then we've just made some changes, so. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, cool. Let's rock and roll. A little early for these cards. All right, so, but the main thing against Dromi, and it's not that crazy, it's this card right here. You need to do this so that they can't do all the crazy things that they want to do. It's too early to do anything like that. We could get this into graveyard so that this is turned on. Don't love that, but I think it's what we got to do. All right, Death Dealer, pitching this. Loading in that. Ah, too bad that isn't still on top. I'd love to go for that. Let's go for a turn 0 blind dominate. See what happens. Knock. Huh. Not exactly what we want. All right. Play out the knock. Put an. I'm thinking either an endless or a Bolton shot because we're probably going to need to kill something. Let's do a Bolton shot. That's usually the best thing to get on top in a situation like this. We want to discard. Or no, we don't want to do anything with this. Unless I want to clear some stuff out of my hand, which I guess I could. Yeah, screw it. We'll put that there. And we'll just fire it at him. Get something good in the arsenal so our codexes are live. And just see what happens. We got a popper. We did not draw a pump. That's actually pretty annoying. But that's alright. The plan here would be like, shoot a Bolton shot that's pumped into whatever problem dragon he plays and then fire something into him. But if we don't get a pump, then we don't get to do that. Now, we do have 2 poppers, so we will probably just pop this bad boy. Maybe could have pitched away one of those, but whatever. This is good. We've already gotten the dragon out of the way, and it's early. We don't want to be attacking with CNC. We mostly just want to be popping with it anyways, so it's an okay way to start. Need a little bit of help off the top of the deck. That is not going to cut it. I mean, I guess we could shoot that with Dominate and then Arsenal that. It's not the worst thing, actually. Yeah, sure. Why don't we do that? Get a little damage through. Get to see what he's working with, and we get to Arsenal something kind of primo. That's not bad, aside from us going down a popper. We'll see. And we might, we got to get the wave of reality out of the way eventually. I'd rather get it out of the way sooner rather than later. Anything going on in chat? All right. Oh, he's got a sink below? That'd be pretty good. Sand cover. Ooh, I like to see him go down on Ash, though. That is ideal. He's already down his gold, too, but watch, he's going to have Tome of Imperial Flame in this hand. Azalea Strong, probably the premium aggro deck. Azalea, turn zeros, must do. I agree. Look at that. See, Tome. Tome just, it fixes all of her Ash problems. That's why, it's not even that she gets to look at cards. I mean, that's a nice bonus. But it just makes it so she doesn't have to worry about Ash. And it's a freaking nightmare of a card. They need to ban it. I'm just kidding. They don't need to ban it. Hey, we drew another. All right. Well, in Azalea, you don't block a ton. Ah, crap. We don't really have a ton of good options here. Well, you know what, though? We got 2 shots at finding a gnarly arrow on top. So, yeah, we're not blocking this. Another Azalea. Another popped Azalea. Wow. Hey, you keep swinging them, I'll keep popping them. All right, we need like a red in the ledger or a sleep dart on top of the deck. That would be sweet. It's not exactly what we need. I guess we bottom it. Let's read. Come on, something choice. Well, yeah, and we can lace it. I think that's good enough. All right. Leave that on top. Azalea. Do we give it an aim counter? No, I don't think so. Because we're going to try to Arsenal that if possible. Because this thing's already pretty gnarly at Dominate for 11, I believe it is. Threatening a couple of pretty gross on hits. Now he might just be able to play out the whole hand. That's why tying an inertia with a red in the ledger is such a cheat code, because you can't just play out everything. But yeah, like he's probably just going to play out everything, and there's no real reason to give this +2, so we might as well just keep it as an Arsenal target. Sink below. Okay. So yeah, he's probably just going to play the whole hand since he's taking this damage. All right, so the gloves are out of the way. Now we just need to... well, now he's basically out of armor, actually. So now we just need to deal with him and the rest of his dragons. Do we... oh my goodness, every turn we've had one. Now this is when the deck really is just humming. You don't usually get one every single fucking turn. But hey, this is how you do it. You just ignore them and pop when you can. That's why Chromai and Mirror Guy are just such a nightmare. All right, let's Skullbone Crunchwrap Supreme to see what's on top of the deck. Oh, baby. Oh, mama. How do we do this? I've never gotten to do this and have it be relevant. This could be the time. I wish we had more than one pump. because we'd have to bottom that unless we played this, but then I have nothing to pitch, so yeah, it's only going to be for 8, but he is out of armor, and he doesn't have an arsenal, so yeah, I think we just let that chill on top. Yeah, okay. And I think we can even keep this, too. So Azalea. We will not do the crow's nest. We will pre-med. And then, am I keeping you as a popper? Or do we want an arsenal knock? Yeah, I think we just gotta no arsenal, as much as that sucks. Oh, I hate doing that. Yeah, alright. Although we could keep the knock for a death dealer, or a red. Yeah, we're probably just gonna ignore dragons, so. TheCardGuyz is looking to chat. Oh, whoops. I forgot that that was the whole reason you got to do the thing. Let's redo this turn. That. Leave it on top. Azalea. I honestly just forgot that. I'm so used to saying no to crow's nests. It's like my go-to. It's like, no, I don't want a crow's nest. This is the one time you do want a crow's nest. And then we pre-med. And then we fire. Thanks, TheCardGuyz. I appreciate it. That would have been awfully dumb. Oh, no blocks. I wonder if he's got another one of his reactions. He does. But that's cool. We're going to get to make him discard a couple, and we're getting some damage through. Sand cover! No! That's right. Sand cover gets around it. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's why I wanted to get that Rain Razors off, but we couldn't do it all, unfortunately. We couldn't do it all. Ooh, I like that he's pitching that away. Oh, it's because he wants to play a 0-cost dragon. Probably Chroma, if I had to guess. Oh, well, now he's just swinging this. Hilarious that I have a popper, yet again. Look, look at this yellow doing its job. Ooh, but we don't have any arrows. Well, we arsenaled that for a reason. We're probably going to go grab Sleep Dart or Red. Ooh. Do I want to shoot a giant endless arrow at him? No, I don't. We can leave it on top to throw Ravenous at him, but I think I have to put that into Arsenal to be able to do it all. Yeah, okay. So play that. Go grab, where is Red? Red in the ledger. Put that into Arsenal. Read, we already know what it is. Leave it on top. Azalea. We do not need a name counter this time because it literally does nothing. And fire that for 8. And hope that we get to say that he only gets to make 1 dragon for his turn, or throw some type of attack. Because I don't think he's got another sand cover to get around this one. There's the mirror guy. That is a bit of a problem. Okay, well, we are in kind of ignore dragons mode because he's low enough life. Let's see what we can draw off of the top. Yeah, let's see what we can draw off the top of the deck. Oh, we were looking for a pump there, admittedly. What do we do here? Well, we can kill Mirror Guy, but we'd be dumping a lace into it, and then we could shoot a sleep dart at him, arsenal the knock. That's actually... that's not terrible. Although, how many poppers have we worked through? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we've only got 2 poppers left, and we know one of them's at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, I'm not so sure that I should be shooting that at him. There's a chance we should bullseye bracer this at him, actually. And then arsenal that. Or we can just shoot another dominated thing. Yeah, screw it. Let's just shoot a dominated red. Why not? Sometimes you can go through these mental gymnastics with her, and it's like, just grab the red in the ledger. It's like, I can do this, and I can do this. Or you can just grab the red in the ledger. It's usually the correct choice, because now he doesn't get to do anything and he has a blood rot, so... Yeah. This isn't even that bad of a situation either. CNC? This is great. I was hoping to clear my arsenal. And then we could snap into something. That's a curious question. Well, we're definitely not blocking this. You can have the sleep dart, it's fine. Because the best thing to put in arsenal with Azalea is a non-attack, then bolt and shot, and then an arrow. So he actually just did me a favor. Because I was either going to have to expend snaps or get lucky off the top of the deck there. It's either load off of that, but then what am I firing? Probably just load and shoot endless again, maybe. He's getting low. If we can threaten his health, then he's going to be in pretty big trouble. Yeah, let's just go wide against him. And look at that. We even got a rain razor, so we get extra value out of our codex. This is too good. All right. Seek. Lace with blood rot. This is where we'd rather this be a bolt and shot, but that's okay. Because then we could do some shenanigans with bullseyes and snaps. Yep. But yeah, firing that for 10, I believe it is. And it's going to be a sneaky 12. Oh, he's not even blocking. Wow. I'll react. I'll make it bigger. Well, now we don't get to grab Endless Arrow. Do we have another 0 cost in here? I think we got a red bolt and shot, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, we don't. That's funny. He actually screwed me by doing that. Because I don't have a 0 cost arrow in my graveyard, and this one doesn't go there until I pick. Yeah. That's hilarious. And without a 0 coster, I can't do it. We already snapped, so I gotta break my gloves here. Yeah, okay. Well, it is what it is. Ooh, we could Azalea. That seems a little risky. I should have, oh, I never played Codex though, so it's fine. Okay. This is coming in for 7, he's at 9. He still has to respect it. He's not going to. What is he about to do to me? Alright, I'll pass. That one, I guess. Okay, he's playing the book. Okay, Mage Masters, he must be playing Tome of Find, Elephide to guess. Yep. I mean, the trouble now... Oh, okay, no, he just gained 5 life. Okay, I see. I was going to say, he's just a dominate away from being dead, but now he's not, so... And if he can make a big enough board and just run me over... Has he furnaced yet? Because he could furnace for a ton. What is this going to be, 5? Yeah. There's a Dominia. That's a bit of a problem for me. Well, he can't hit both arrows, so that's good news. Oh my god, he didn't reveal a red. That's hilarious. So this is just damage then. Yeah, I'll eat that. I don't have a popper, so I'll eat it. That sucks. I can't believe he revealed like one of his, what, 2 yellows? Alright, there's a Chromai. We're truly in ignore dragons mode. Like, I can probably throw Ravenous Rabble at Dominia because it's Dominia, but like I don't think we get to kill dragons anymore at this point in the match. Yeah, I don't think so. Oh my god, and then a CNC! What is this turn? Well, in a way, I guess it's not that bad. Because I don't really know what I was going to do with Codex. I was probably going to have to hope that there was like a non-attack on top, so... Yeah, we'll eat it. That's rough, but we'll eat it. Man, if Dominia doesn't whiff, he almost catches up off of this. Alright, well... The curious question is, what are we throwing Ravenous Rabble at? It all kind of depends. If I can throw an arrow at him for 10, and but he's got Chromai, so he can always go Chromai Dominia just to screw up my life. Well, I think at the very least we're gonna load Endless Arrow and see what we draw. Codex. Not exactly what we need. Not exactly what we need. I guess it's an arsenal target. We probably have to throw Rabble at Dominia. Yeah, we probably got to throw that at Dominia. I just hope it reveals a red. No, you gotta be kidding me. Well, he revealed a yellow as well. It is what it is. He just runs me over if I don't attack him, though. Crap. This is really bad. I can't believe that didn't kill it. What a nightmare. Well, we could maybe blind into a 1 for 5 and then throw it at him for 8. It would kill him if he didn't have... Oh, he can just let that break. And he doesn't need Ash anymore. He gives me 2 cards. He let this hits for 1. This is a nightmare. I almost have to like hope for a Bolton shot on top. Oh wait, we already know what's on top. It was a Deadeye. Crap. I honestly don't know what we do here. I think we just have to throw it at him and hope for the best. I can't throw a 7 arrow at Dominia, but that's going to ruin my freaking turn if I don't. Oh, what a nightmare. Screw it. We'll just throw it at him and lose to Dominia? Is that what we're going to do? I got to get cards out of his hand. We revealed a yellow. What can you do? What can you do? I can't pop that one. And he's going to reveal the red, so he gets to get rid of my popper. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Okay. Oh, he didn't play a red card that turn. Doesn't matter, though. That's the power of having... And this is probably like a sand cover or defense reaction. Just so he can stop us from finishing him. Oh, what? That's not what I meant to do. Azalea. Yes, pitching the blue. Then we Deadeye. Then we red. Now he can't swing both, so he can only swing Dominia. It's still a problem, though. But it buys us a turn. We can maybe dominate him out. Oh, he had the defense reaction. I should have known. No, yeah, now we just lose, so. And I did know. We talked about it. So that's unfortunate. We really needed to kill Dominia with Ravenous Rabble. Was there any other screw-ups? Trying to think if I did anything wrong there to cost us that. Suppose I could have thrown the rabble at him. Then he doesn't get to keep the arsenal, or he's forced to take 3. I really wanted to kill this, though. I mean, we just lose here, because he's going to swing the board. And we can't pop anything. Yeah, no, Darkodius played it well. Trying to think if there's anything I can do. We can hope for a... Yeah, we can hope for a dominate. That's all we can do. I think I'm dead even with that, actually, but if I can keep my tunic and read, maybe we can try. But I think I'm screwed no matter what. Because he's probably got like a 0 for 4 in hand. Oh, let's go to 1 and show me that 0 for 4. There it is. I mean, what's the point? I guess we can kill Dominia just for shits and giggles and die his last Azalea or burn them all. I suppose actually I maybe should have killed Mira so I could have popped something, but it doesn't matter. We'll just die. Good game. Well played to Darkodius. Hats off. I wonder if there was anything I did wrong, truth be told. I don't think so. Again, I could have thrown the Ravenous Rabble at him. I don't know if that makes a huge difference. Because in theory, we get him to 1, I think, if that happens. And that's if everything happens exactly the way that's like favorable for me. I don't know. Let's go to the chat. Was there anything I did wrong there, do you think? No, like, Darkodius, in my opinion, played that really well. And to the point where like that last hurrah from him was kind of amazing. That was very good. Let's see. Now the poppers just happened to line up really, really nicely. I think I only run 2, 2, and 3, so 7. This is 7's a decent amount, but they did line up incredibly nicely against you. I gotta thank luck for that. Don't blind Deadeye. Yeah. I remembered that. Reg. Thanks though. Could maybe have used Codex for a rabble. Use bow to shoot Endless to kill. Endless Arrow was already in my arsenal at that time. I thought about that. It would have been cool to do some Ravenous Rabble tricks with Codex of Frailty, but my arsenal was already full, and I had already used snaps. And maybe that's was the part of the match where I was maybe a little short-sighted, was where I cashed in my snaps. But, you know, it let me get 2 arrow value off of Rain Razors. He wasn't really blocking that turn. I think that was the turn before he popped off. So yeah, I'm not super sure. Honestly, I think you know, Dromi should be favored against Azalea, and I think Darkodius played that really well. So not too mad at that. I'm not too bothered, I'll say, because I think I did that all right. There might have been maybe a less than optimal line that I took somewhere, but I think it was okay. I can live with that. Let's play another one, shall we? Thank you for the game, Darkodius. That was actually pretty dang good. That was well played. Alrighty, back to the lobby, and we will run it back. If anybody wants to hop in again, feel free. It's just going to be called Azalea Looking for Fights, and away we go. I'm going to go grab another beer, but I will be back in just a second. See you in just a second. Alrighty then. Welcome back. Welcome back. Now we're moving on to a pernicious ale. It's another IPA. The whole 12 pack is a mixture of IPAs. This one is, what is the percentage? 7.3. So 1.2 less. I actually really like pernicious. I've had this one before. Does anybody know the definition of pernicious? If you do, please put it in the chat. I'd love to read it. All right, let's fight this Victor. So Victor was a bit of a something I had to learn. The first time I fought him, I thought he'd be like Bravo, but he's a little bit more aggressive. So I've been fond of just running a tight 60. Lace with frailty is not going to matter that much, so we're going to drop that one. And we also want fatigue shots. The sleep dart isn't doing that much, so that's the one we'll cut. Okay, well, we made him wait too long. See you later, Victor. Sorry. I guess he didn't know I was getting a beer. That's fine. Generally speaking, though, I would have put in 2 fatigue shots and the 3 release attentions and dropped the lace with frailties, dropped the sleep darts, and called it a day. And we would have just sent it at a tight 60. I'm sure there are more fatigue-focused victors out there, but in my experience, oh, mama. Yeah, I'll go first against Max. Hello. Good luck, have fun. Max, you just run it like a typical aggro mirror, so no need for changes. Yeah, we're just going to run the regular 60 and send it. What? That's not my graveyard. All right, so typically speaking, you always go for the turn 0 dominates. We want to keep a pump for Arsenal. Oh, if we could get that. Well, let's I guess we see what's happening first. So pitch the Rain Razors, because it's always good to get Rain Razors to the bottom of the deck. I got a Remorseless. Too bad we couldn't have dominated right off rip. Dominate? Oh, no. Well, at least we get to look at the top of the deck. You always have to go for it, in my opinion. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We want that in hand. We don't really want that. It's good to have it as like the starting thing, but not really the thing you do that with. So we're going to bottom that, put it next to the Rain Razors, and we will just pass. Arsenal, one of these pumps. Doesn't really matter which one. And yeah, now we can send a huge Remorseless or Endless Arrow, and we can block for 3, depending on what we want to do. This is an aggro matchup. But he's trying to play cards as well, and we've got the blue to pitch. I do want to keep an Arsenal, but we're going to be drawing something off a Death Dealer. This is just damage, so we can eat the first one. There's even a world where we knock here, and to go get Red in the Ledger, of course. Ooh, he just banished 2 good reds, and he's pitching all kinds of reds. Made a Hyperdriver, that's his turn. Sweet. Alright, so he's setting up stuff, but we're like going to try to make it so he never really gets to do anything. Oh, mama, we can send a huge arrow. Leave that on top. Play that out. Are we going to knock or not? I think I just want to send a massive Remorseless and an Arsenal Endless. And if red's on top, then red's on top. Yeah, I think I'm fine with that. Loading in that. We'll go Lace. We'll go Reed. Sleep Dart. We can stop him from making a Hyperdriver. But I don't think we care about that, so we're going to bottom that. We're just going to send a giant Remorseless at him. What is this, 14? Yeah, pretty good. If he takes it and has a turn, then he's looking at taking like 20. Oh, well, he's got one of his blocking cards. But, you know, We're still getting him for 7. If he does, anything, then he's taking more damage. And we can block for a lot here and shoot a 7 back. That's not so bad. And in my opinion, this is going to be the beauty of, what is he going to do? Shoot the pistol at me next? Of being able to play Endless Arrow. Because like now, I get to block for 9 here and still have a pretty okay turn. So I'm going to shoot back 7 with 2 on hits. And if he doesn't give me a bunch of stuff, then he's going to have problems. And the secret is, now that I'm on Tunic 3, I don't even care about my arsenal. You going to try and make a robot on me? Well, pretty soon we're going to start dumping big old... Oh, look, we can even do it now. We can even do it now. And we're going to go ahead and get some of the armor out of the way. We will not be doing that. Lace, tunic, red for 8, dominate. And now he has to give me all the armor and still have a block card, I think. Otherwise, he's not going to get to have a turn. He just realized that, yep. Unless he's got a card that blocks for 4, he can't stop this. So now he's questioning, do I even stop this at all? Let's see. Oh, let's see. Darkodius was saying stuff. Let's read about Darkodius. From my end, you played mostly correct. Yeah, I think I did too. There was probably something that was a little less than optimal, but I think I played mostly correct. I do. Blocking for 5. Does he have some kind of trick up his sleeve, or is that just the math that made sense to him? That's the math that made sense to him. Okay. I like that math. He's going to throw a throttle at me, and that's going to be his whole turn. Did he boost? No, he didn't boost. Okay. Why would he? I don't believe I'm going to be blocking this bad boy. Alright, so we're going to load and look. It's usually better to pair red with Seek, but I think we're going to be pitching Seek, because we need to hopefully find a dominate. Because if I can dominate with pre-med attached to it, that's pretty good. So we'll load red by pitching Seek and Destroy. Too bad those weren't flip-flops. That would have been huge. Let's read the glide path. Hopefully there's a good arrow on top. It's not. I think we just have to leave it on top. We can't really gamble on, like, maybe I can get one if I do a blind Azalea. It's like, well, that's a good way to do nothing on your turn. And this still has to be answered. Like, he's either going to give me all the armor and keep enough cards to have a decent turn, or he's going to give me, like, all of his cards. So, can't be too mad at this situation. Anyways, back to what Darkodius was saying. There's a thought towards rabbling something else and then endlessing the Dominia because the card obviously ends the game. Yeah. Yeah, remember your aim counters. That's a good point. Oh, look at that. He just gives me the whole hand, so now he's got to have like a 0 cost in arsenal, otherwise he's not doing anything anyways. So we basically said, you don't get to have a turn if you want to answer my turn. We didn't get an arrow, so that's a little bit of a nightmare, but we can always Death Dealer, pitching Deadeye, Pump, Codex, which is our only line. So Pump, Codex, and now we can, red is the arrow that says he doesn't get to have a turn. Endless Arrow doesn't matter because we already have a Ponder. Drill Shot doesn't matter because he's probably going to block with armor anyways, unless he just gives us the hand, in which case we're going to fatigue him on damage. So yeah, it's going to be red. And now, a lot of Azalea players will just put this Codex arrow Codex card face up, but it does come in face down, so we might as well look at the top of the deck. It's a Bolton Shot. We don't want... Because, at the very least, we get to see what our Ponder is going to get us. And while Bolton Shot is a good arsenal, I don't think we necessarily want to arsenal the blue one. So we're going to bottom that. And we're just going to send a big old red in the ledger. And now he has to decide it again. Am I going to give up my armor and a bunch of cards, or am I just going to give up all my cards? And eventually he's going to run out of cards if he keeps doing things like this. Back to what TheCardGuyz was saying. Blah, blah, blah. Last turn should have been blind Azalea into read the glide path, play it, then Codex. Maybe. When you had Codex and Arsenal is what I meant. Okay, sorry, Riku, I got confused about that. He's cashing in the armor and still keeping a card, which is kind of what we were expecting. There's Eye of Ophidia, first time we've seen it tonight. A T-Bone. Well, I know that I'm not going to be blocking that. How many hyperdrivers does he need to make the mechanoid? I honestly don't even know. We'll just give him bullseye bracers there. Up until I made the mirror guy and the full combo, 3 turns later you had a popper for every dragon. Yeah, for real, it was great. Oh god, the fact that I had used my Funerus super early into the Ballista was also so annoying. Yeah, I liked that. That was a super fun game, TheCardGuyz. I really enjoyed that. I like Azalea. She's pretty fun. Let's go ahead and pass that. Turn 0, always blind Azalea. Always. Are you kidding me? Man, just shot red 3 turns in a row. It takes 3 to make the mech. Okay, cool. So he's 1 off. Good to know. Oh, no, he made a 3rd. So this could be mech right here for all we know. Alright, so as always, we're going to lead off with Skullbone. I don't think we're looking for knock, so we're just going to bottom that. Alright, so I lets us do some strange things. Like, I can... I want to get the load off of this, though. So Codex of Frailty is actually kind of gunking up the works. Now we could blind Azalea here, because even if it's an arrow, I still have snaps up and we can do some stuff. We got Eye. It's the discard that's a problem here, really. And we want to get the load so we can grab another card. Do we just blind Azalea here? That's the question. I don't actually know the answer. Or are we just okay with the fact that I'm going to discard this? Okay, I got to do something. All right, let's go ahead and play out the lace, because we know we're doing that. I don't want this guy to just claim victory out of nowhere. But if I want to do more than one thing, then it's going to have to be, yeah. Let's blind Azalea. Let's see what happens. Hey, that's not so bad. We will freaking pay into this. Yes, we will. Awesome. Bottom? I don't think I want either of those. Yeah, bottom. That's pretty sweet. Really? Sorry, bro. Do we Ravenous Rabble here? Yeah, because we're going to Arsenal Bolt and Shot. So Ravenous Rabble, reveal the yellow. But hey, that's a good thing to pair with that later. So, Judge and Jury is looking really good tonight. Because we're actually getting it to be dominated and having the blue to pay for the aim counter, but it didn't line up for like this in Connecticut. I'm not gonna lie to you. And now we are going to force him to discard all but 1 card. And we're going to Arsenal the second best Arsenal target. Hey, it's a 1 of in this deck. Yellow Bolt and Shot. That's funny. I did not even rabble to look at top. I think I saw that with Crunchwrap, I think. Unless I'm crazy. Saw that with Crunch Wrap, I think. Okay, we're whittling him down slowly but surely. Let's see what we got on top. Ooh, inflecting shot. Well, the trick on turns like these is the thing you do after Bolt and Shot. So we actually want a pump on top, so we're going to bottom that. Because it's really all about leading with the Bolt and Shot, like, ooh, you have to stop the Bolt and Shot, but really it's the Death Dealer that follows it that actually matters, in my opinion. So, Bolt and Shot, currently no go again. He's going to block it for 5 because no duh. I guess we could have made use of the reload, but it almost never matters in a situation like this. We just wanted to get some blocking cards out of his hand. Alright, so now the curious question is, do we take the guarantee of a good arrow in Sleep Dart, or even Infecting Shots? Or do you load the Spire Sniping and try to find a Dominate? I think we load the Spire Sniping and try to find a Dominate. So, yep, pitching the yellow, loading in the Spire Sniping. There we go. Top. And we didn't draw a pump, which is unfortunate, but we did draw... we did hit a Dominate, which is kind of good enough. No, we will not put an aim counter on it. We will just fire this off for 7. Oh yeah, we do have a pump. I forgot about Rain Razors. In fact, in that case, it's probably worth it to snap, load, fire. Because it's very rare that you can get all 3 arrows plus 2 on Azalea. And the biggest thing with Azalea, too, I see a lot of Azalea matches where the game ends and they still have bullseye bracers. And it's like, you gotta crack those puppies. You just got to. Like, he's eating some damage here. And I think we are gonna go ahead and just because of Rain Razors, I think it's too much value to miss out on it. Make it a 0 for 6. Like, that's super good. We have Tunic up, so we can still keep an arsenal. And he just took that damage, assuming he was going to get to have a turn, and now I'm saying you don't get to have a turn. And what did we shoot? We shot yellow plus Rain Razors, so that's 5, 12, 20. 20 damage turn, going 3 arrows wide. It's kind of how you set up the endgame Dominate, in my opinion. This is a war crime. Oh man, Azalea's fun. Like, you can really abuse some of her stuff. Look at that. He did have the construct. He was just waiting to build it. But now he's read in the Ledgered, so I think that's his whole turn. But this thing does block for how much? For 5. Let's see what we got on top. A Bolt and Shot. But we don't have any pumps, so that doesn't do us any favors, unfortunately. Ooh, and we don't get to have a turn unless I blind Azalea into a pump. Blind Azalea. There we go. Sometimes you get exactly what you need. So we've already Azalea'd, so there's no reason to manipulate the top. So we're probably just going to arsenal that. Yeah. Alright, so Lace. We could arsenal that, but we're going to have leftover cards, so we don't get to. Okay. I feel like there's a red on top, so let's rabble now. There we go. Cool. And we can play that as well. Nice. Where did these come from? What? I'm so confused. Oh, that was from his hand. Okay. It's like, what is this? Then we'll Death Dealer, pitching Spire Sniping, loading in the Inflecting Shot, make it huge. and say, you're gonna die. Oh wow, he might just be dead actually. Oh no, he's got that. Okay, cool. I forgot about that. But basically, he can only put up with this for so long. And we're gonna... Oh, that's right, he can just attack for 6, though, off of nothing. But he's still got to do it 5 more times before I start to care. So until then, we're just not gonna care. You'll find when you play Azalea, a lot of the time your opponent attacks you, you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna attack you bigger. So we're gonna Skullbone Crunchwrap Supreme. We can Azalea into that, but so I got Knock sitting there right now. We probably want to arsenal the red Bolton Shot. And we probably want to go like load, pump, hopefully pump. Is this a May? Search your deck for an arrow card, reveal it, and put it on. Ah, it's not a May, so you have to do it. Okay. Well, maybe we just shoot a giant endless arrow. Because this is a good arsenal target anyways. Yeah, we're just gonna shoot a giant endless arrow. Maybe we draw another pump. That'd be cool. Look at that. This thing's gonna be huge. Endless arrow for 13. What a nightmare. Oh, he gets to keep a card. He gets to keep a card, and he's still got his Nitro Mechanoid. But how long is that thing going to be blocking for? And we just arsenaled something primo. And we got our other drill shot. Yeah, we are cooking. Yeah, I'm 4 more times before I have to start caring. Or 3 more times, I guess. Alright, Crunchwrap Supreme. We have a lace on top. I think the ideal line here is... Oh, we have Tunic up too. That's pretty sweet. So we can load Drill Shot off of that. Yeah, so we leave that on top then, because we're going to draw that. Do we want to send a massive Drill Shot or a massive Bolton Shot? Do I need Ravenous Rabble for anything? No, I don't think so. Unless there's a 1-cost arrow on top. And we can check that at the end. Okay, cool. So then we should save that. All right. So yeah, we're going to just send a naked Bolton Shot. He is probably going to see the Rain Racers coming, but we still are going to make him earn it. He saw it coming, of course. You passed the test. Then we're going to Tunic to load off of Death Dealer. Putting in the Drill Shot. We already know there's a pump on top. Oh, and then we Ravenous Rabble to see if we have a better arrow on top. Oh, look at that. Well, that's a cheat code because now we don't have to keep anything held back. We can just dominate for 10 or 12, actually. I think this is GG. I do believe that this is GG. Anybody saying anything interesting in the chat? Oh, well, let's go ahead and send our giant Drill Shots. Azalea. No. Pump. Pump. Huge dominated Drill Shot for 12. Can you stop 12 with dominate, my good man? And this is where Azalea feels great. The Mechanologist, aside from Dio, you can ask Evan Hernandez. I believe that's how you say his last name. He showed me the power of -IO. Those dissipation shields and stuff like that can really help you a lot against Azalea. GG. Thank you for the game. But yeah, a Mechanologist and Brute and Ninja, and really a lot of classes feel really good for Azalea right now. Like this match felt pretty one-sided. I don't think he played incorrectly. I don't know if necessarily Mechanoid is the right choice to bring in against Azalea. I guess if you get it off fast, it could probably be pretty good. But I think Max is a pretty cursed matchup into Azalea, if I'm going to be completely honest. But yeah, I was happy with that match. I think that went pretty well. What did we have left in the tank? We had a Bolt and Shot Rain Razor's turn coming up. That's always pretty good. And we even have the option to go like load and then fire and then load that in and then fire, or even do that, arsenal that. It's pretty good. And then we're coming up on that's also pretty good. We draw the knock, which means we could then dominate with like a infecting shot. So yeah, we had some decent options for the late game there. What's going on in the chat? Or just hit the nuts, yeah. Every once in a while, Charlie, you just hit the nuts. It's a nice situation to be in. Is there a cheaper alternative to Tunic? SOS says. I mean, yes. There is Trench. Would you play Trench and Azalea though? I don't think you would. Like Trench was like good enough to be the only chest you ran in Lexi. Like you could live without Tunic and Lexi. Taylor Crawford even said that Trench only Lexi for a little bit was the optimal way to play it. I disagreed. I thought the Tunic made a huge difference in the mirror. But for Lexi, you could just run Trench and not have a Tunic. Honestly, though, truth be told, man, Tunic is cheaper now than it's ever been. Like if you were in the market of scooping up a Tunic, like scoop one up. I think I don't know exactly what they're at. Let's take a look. But last I looked, I thought they were like $70, which is, pretty expensive for a playing card. But I mean, shoot, Tunic was like 150 to 200 for a while there. And right now you could get, you can get a Bright Lights Tunic for $70, which is, it is pricey, but this is the kind of card that you can play in so many decks. Why am I just circling the boobs? But you can play it in so many decks. Like if you picture it as, say $23. If there's a $23 card that you need for 3 decks, well, 23 times 3 is like 69. And if this is going to see play in 3 of your decks, then is that not worth it? I don't know. When I got my first Tunic back in the day, during Monarch, I guess it was, because it was before Tails. Yeah, I wrote Tunic on my thumbnails. I wrote TUNIC during a Road to Nationals playing Bolton to remember my Tunic. I've since learned I think that's technically cheating. I think that's outside assistance, but this is my first card game, and like I was prone to forgetting my Tunic triggers. So when it came time for Road to Nationals for that extended art Tunic, like I wanted that. I didn't want to forget my Tunic, so I wrote Tunic on my thumbnails. I lost in the finals, but I still made it to the finals of a Road to Nationals back when I was just terrible at this game. So I was pretty happy to pull that off. Back to Talishar. But at the same time, to answer your question, I'm over here on a diatribe about like, oh, Tunic's cheaper than it's ever been. Doesn't fucking matter. Is there a replacement for Tunic? You could run Blossom of Spring. You could run Heart and Cross Trap. But I mean, it's just, no, there's no replacement. In Azalea, having an arsenal is one of the most important things you can have. And whenever I'm on Tunic 3, I consider myself like having an arsenal, if that explains the power of it to you. Just because, I mean, getting value off of Skullbone Crosswrap is why having an arsenal is important. But it's also important because like you can do more things when you have an arsenal. If you have an arrow, like that turn where I went pump Endless Arrow, that was because I had an arsenal. And I was able to just, play a pump, fire the arrow. Having Tunic makes it so you don't necessarily need to have that arsenal, because I can just have Endless Arrow in my hand, grab the Tunic counter, load off a Tunic counter, and if I draw a pump, then that's like the same thing as having pump arsenal 0 for 4 arrow, if that makes any sense. And it also just gives you the flexibility to have any random arsenal and look on top, oh, there's a Red Ledger, and you have a pump in hand. You can then Azalea, put that Red Ledger into arsenal with Dominate, play the pump, Tunic, fire it off. It's just Tunic does a lot for Azalea. It really sets up a ton. And if you don't have Tunic for Azalea, you're probably leaving a lot of value on the table. So I don't think you can really replace Tunic with anything but Tunic. Maybe Blossom of Spring, because you always have it for that one turn where it counts, but I think Tunic's a little important to Azalea. I think she's one of the heroes who uses it the best, and it's already like a busted piece of armor in a lot of other heroes too. You have a Riptide deck. I want to make Azalea instead, but I have no idea of chests. I don't want to drop so much on a Tunic. Yeah, I mean, again, that makes sense. It's not the cheapest thing. I know I was just spouting about how it's cheaper than it's ever been, but it's still a pretty expensive playing card, so I get that. Mechanoid is the only choice. That makes sense, Jimmy. I can see where Nitro Mechanoid is kind of like, if you can get it off fast, then the block value plus the aggression value is good enough. It seems like a very hard matchup for Max. And Trench and Cross Wrap conflict. Yeah, Charlie's right. So Cross Wrap, or Trench rather, is even worse than Azalea then. It's too bad, because it did actually work for Lexi. You could run either or in Lexi and it would be fine. Tunic is worth an investment right now. I agree. It's cheaper than it's ever been, and it's so good when it's good. You really can't be mad at a Tunic. And so many heroes just abuse it. Like even Bravo's on Tunic, and I would argue that tech plating is the closest thing to Tunic. Like tech plating blocks for 3, and you can dump 1 resource into it to basically turn it into a Tunic every single turn. Now, admittedly, you need to have the card to dump 1 resource into it, but the fact that Bravos are on Tunic instead of tech plating just speaks volumes to Tunic. That's wild to me, because tech plating just always seemed like, oh yeah, it's like the Tunic that blocks. And it is, but being able to just get the resource without ever having to invest, aside from time, aside from 3 turns, it's so good when it's good. It's just, if you're playing Flesh and Blood and you don't own a Tunic and you actually want to play at a competitive level, you just got to get one. It's just the way it is, It's like in Pokemon, the expensive Charizard actually isn't that good. In Flesh and Blood, Tunic is that good. All right, let's get another game going. I've been enjoying reading chat, but we should get another match going. Hey, so far I feel good about these deck changes. If you guys weren't here at the start, we dropped 2 Bolton shots to put in a red infecting shot and a yellow infecting shot. This is Big Booty Judy, because Azalea is my big booty goth girlfriend. She's not, but it makes me laugh when I say it out loud. So we dropped 2 yellow Bolton shots to get a red and a yellow infecting shot in. So far, I've enjoyed them. We dropped all 3 E-strikes for more endless arrows and more drill shots. And I haven't missed E-strike yet. Dirkodius made a point about how it does shine against Dromi, and he's right. But we just had a great match, and I didn't even have it, so it's like, ooh. Did we make any other changes, chat? Oh, we dropped sync belows for release attentions. And that hasn't come up yet, but I still think I like it better. And these CNCs could maybe become something else too. We'll see. But for the time being, I'm happy with that. I have Ophidia's, of course, just the 3rd Spire Sniping. I really like it. It could very easily just be Spire Sniping. Like, if you're curious, if I don't have I have Ophidia, what do I run? A 3rd Spire Sniping. It's totally fine. They kind of do the same thing, kind of. I like Ophidia better, that's why I'm running it. But yeah. All right, let's jump into another game. Paste, and Azalea looking for fights, and let's rock and roll. Again, if you want to hop in, please feel free. But yeah. So far, we are having an okay time with the deck. I'm not too mad at the changes. Oh, I'm gonna go grab another beer. Let's show off another one, shall I? Be back in a minute. Alrighty. Hello, people. Wow. This is dumb and a totally random tangent, but that's what I used to say back in 2006. I had a YouTube channel where every time I started a video, I'd go, "Hello, people." It's stupid. Nobody cares. But if anybody was around back then, what's up? We're drinking another Wicked Weed. This is Dr. Dank's Mango Wowie. Wowie Zowie. I like a mango IPA. You know, the hops and the bitterness are usually mellowed out pretty nicely by something citrusy. There's even citrus hops out there. What are you guys drinking tonight? Somebody told me they were drinking a ooh. This is good. A little sweet though, I'm gonna admit. I like my IPAs or beers in general to kind of be a punch to the mouth. Well, this is kind of a gentle kiss. A little. Still good though, but I generally like them a little more bitter than this. But what are you guys drinking tonight? Somebody was drinking a Bell's Two Hearted earlier, which, props. Bell's Two Hearted is a quality beer. Very good. It's like a half IPA, half Pilsner or lager a little bit. It's good. I'm always telling Nathan what beers to drink when we're out and about. I'm wondering, is this lobby good? Because it's got all the chat from before. I'm wondering if is that normal? Is that kosher? Where's Talishar? I guess I just need to type it. But as long as I'm showing up. Oh, I'm not even showing up. Yeah, okay, this is not gonna cut it. Let's leave this lobby and make a new one. Library decks, yeah. Azalea looking for fights, public, create. Okay, cool. I guess something happened glitchy before, but we got it figured out. But Dorinthia, great. But generally speaking, I like my beers a little bitter. This is a little sweet. I was curious if anybody was drinking anything out there. Oh, the max was salty. But yeah, whoever was drinking that Bell's Two Hearted. Oh, Robert Thompson in the chat. Everybody say what's up. Whoever was drinking that Bell's Two Hearted, props to you. That's a good beer. All right, I'll go first because we're always looking to get off that natural dominate. I'm a slowpoke. We lost them. Oh well. We'll find another opponent. It's fine. Ooh, an Uzuri. Oh god, this is even worse. Hit them with a hello so they know I'm here, unlike the Dorinthia who ran off. So it'll be slightly more interesting. There's two minds of thought against Uzuri. Either you run a fat deck or you run a tight deck. I think I'm going to do a mix. We're going to put in more arrows and pumps and some yellows to pay for those. And then we'll send it. This might be wrong. You maybe should run a tight 60, but I'm always thinking about the potential for fatigue, so we'll see. A spider bite to kick things off. Nope, he changed his mind. In turn. Well, I don't love it, but it is what it is. We don't really have great options, so we might as well accept the fact that I don't have to block and I don't have to take any incidental damage. Judge Jury is doing nothing. We want to find a dominate, so we probably need to load Spire. So we pitch Judge, we load Spire, or we load Sleep Dart. Just so we have an arrow that does have a decent on hit. That could be worth it actually, because it guarantees he has to block. But I'd love to get him with some kind of dominate. Let's see if we can find a dominate. Oh no. Come on. Oh, whatever. Oh no, we're shooting a fucking Spire sniping. This is really bad. I should have just gone with the sleep dart. That way we knew we were shooting something big. That would have been smarter. I got greedy here. I wanted to shoot a dominate. All right, that's fine. So we're going to be arsenaling that. So we just go rabble because we know it's a red on top. But now he knows he doesn't have to worry about dominate. Now we're not going to get to arsenal here either. Maybe we arsenal the lace. That way we know we can do something good next turn. We still present some damage. Yeah, let's just arsenal the lace. It sucks, but it's not a huge difference between 6 and 3, you know? And if we can get the lace into arsenal, we're still setting ourselves up for some nice stuff. It is an Uzuri, so they're going to be disruptive. That's not exactly thrilling. But we'll see. We'll see. All right, let's go ahead and get that judge closer to the top. We got 2 pumps. Ooh, we got some options. Hopefully he's not very disruptive. Don't be, oh, no. No, I said don't believe no witnesses. Shit. Well, we can send a dominated endless. It's not the worst thing. Oh, he can give this a go again and then do more annoying shit. Yeah, we're just eating it. I can't protect the arsenal. I'd have to bend over backwards and then he'd pop his shoes and then like throw a CNC, you know? I guess just there's no point. Yeah. Ooh, he's got the hat. That is gonna do nothing against me. I don't run 3 of a kind. Are you crazy? Oh, and you're gonna hit me with a swap? And you're gonna hit me with a swap, bro? Come on. What is it? Let's find out. It's CNC. See? I had a feeling. I was like, if I block this thing, he's just gonna throw CNC next. Joke's on him, though. I couldn't have blocked it even if I wanted to. Alright, so we just go pump. Pump. Knock the death whistle. And we're going to put an endless arrow on top because we want to have an arsenal. Azalea. And 10 with dominate. No. And we're going to hope that 10 is good enough because we're threatened to turn off his weapons and give him a blood rod and get an arsenal. Oop, just hit the mic. Hopefully that wasn't super loud. I have been drinking. But yeah, we're hoping this is good enough. We can, you know, extra damage, arsenal, turn off the spider bites. Pretty good. Can't be mad at that. Good deal. All right, we're getting damage, we're getting some on hits, and we're getting away with an arsenal. I mean, it really doesn't get much better than that. What do we think of this hand, boys? Backstab, he's going to swap it. Oh, he doesn't have enough silver to get his stuff back yet. I love that. What kind of turn are we looking at here? Oh, I do like the idea of getting off Endless Arrow more than once, which means we can actually block with Remorseless. This means we're going to be giving up snaps. Don't love that. But if we're going to win, we need to be aggressive. So let's block. Hopefully he doesn't have something that hits the hand. He could very easily have Shakedown, and I'm going to regret this block. Watch it be Shakedown. Here it comes. It is a scar for a scar. What? I'm very confused. I guess it does a little damage. Okay. That was a weird one. I'm not going to lie to you. Let's skull moan, see what we got on top. Lace with frailty. That's good because we're intending to snap this and then load it again. Yeah. Because we're going to Rain Razor it when he hopefully blocks for 7 or 8. Hopefully he doesn't just give me 9. Because then I'm a fool. But if we can load it again, then we can pump it again, or we can keep a pump for Arsenal. We'll probably actually keep a pump for Arsenal. Well, I mean, yeah, I'm pumping it no matter what, so we'll just play it. But I always like to get them to play the defense reaction first. There it is. Just because it's nice to see it happen before you play yours, but I'm playing mine no matter what, so it kind of doesn't matter. Hopefully he only accounted for 7. He accounted for more. That's okay, though. Now he probably doesn't get to Arsenal. It's a bummer because I kind of based my whole turn off of being able to shoot that again, but it's fine. We're still on tunic counter, so it's like we have an Arsenal. And we just made him waste a sink below for, 2 unresolved value, so I'll take that exchange. Okay, he's trying to get off a silver. This is where if we had a sink below, I would just snap give it to him. We can actually block here because we have a dead card. Although his sleep dart dead. But we do have a dead card, whichever one it is. It's probably right to cash in the block value, so we cash in the block value. It just kind of stinks because I'd love to stop the on hit too, but I'm not willing to give up anything. So yeah, it is what it is. We could have given up another blocking card and then loaded off a tunic. Oh wow, well he was going to get the hit no matter what. So at least we got the shred out of him. Oh, and he banished a pre-med? You jerk. Now he gets his armor back. That's pretty solid for him. Not to mention a pre-med here would have been super nice. Keep that for Arsenal. Probably just, yeah. We got to start opting so we can get off more dominates, because he is just blocking more than I would like. Now this is an 8 that he has to deal with, because it kind of ruins his whole hero ability. Okay, he's just going to eat it. That being said, he could have a turn that just naturally, is good and doesn't need an Uzuri swap. That's right, we did Lace with Frailty, though, so the weapons are turned off. That is a nice thing. We can enjoy that. He's probably going to get his, definitely going to get his shoes back here. We got Release. We got Bullseyes, so we still got options. Okay. This is a tough matchup. Okay, he can't give this go again. Now I just have to wonder, do we care about our arsenal? Well, we can always go Bolton Shot into load Sleep Dart off of Bullseye Bracers, which is not the worst. Yeah, do we get to block this? I could block this for 6 and then do a pump. Maybe knock, fire off a dominated thing with that. I think we can eat this, because I like the idea of going wide here. I really do. And if we can Azalea into a pump, then we can, do even more damage, potential damage. We don't care a ton about that Remorseless because she doesn't go incredibly wide outside of her daggers. Alright, Death Dealer, pitching a blue, loading in a Bolton Shot, because we're probably going to Bullseye here. Oh, that is not what we want to see. That's okay, though. It is what it is. Play Release the Tension. Bolton Shot for 7, I believe. If he lets me reload, cool, but ultimately we were going to just bullseyes here anyways. And we're going to hope that his whole turn revolved around Uzuri. So this sleep dart is a problem. Let's find out. Now, I'm curious what Uzuri's position is in the meta right now. I feel like she's actually a little bit weaker than she has been. Okay, she doesn't care about that. So she wasn't going to Uzuri anyways, I assume. We'll find out. Oh wow, look at that. 2 Raging Onslaughts right next to each other in the stack. And yet again, I do not care about my arsenal. We are not drawing pumps though, which is a bit of a problem. It's almost like we should just block for 6 here though, because like these cards aren't doing anything anyways, so why would I keep them? We gotta hope for a pump. I really need to start dominating him. That's kind of the kicker here. I need to find some dominates. Yeah, that's fine. Whoops. We'll play for a pump. Load off a Death Dealer. Hopefully we draw another pump. Rain Razors. Alright, we'll keep that for the arsenal. Maybe play it, maybe. If he like gives us a good reason to, but we're probably just gonna arsenal that. It's a good arsenal target. And this is still threatening 10. With him at 18, it's a little scary. I'm at 16, so I'm not scared of dying just yet. We'll see what happens, but I'm not super concerned just yet. Does he have some kind of reaction? No? Okay then. Take the 5. Oh, an inertia trap. What does that do again? Oh, I've got an inertia? And we 1000% play it. You're not gonna let me keep my arsenal? Take 4 damage. Bet. You can probably just pay for it, but when the option is keep it or lose it, or rather use it or lose it, I'll use it. What does this do again? Non-action cards. So my instants and my reactions. Blah 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 blah. I don't think I care. Oh, we didn't draw an arrow. You have got to be kidding me. Is there any tricks I can do to get out of this? No. No, I'm just screwed. I can't load anything. This is the old Azalea problem. Usually you can get bailed out by like a Codex of Frailty or something, but I literally can't do anything with these cards. It's either read or pre-med. I think we'll keep read so that I can have a better shot at a dominate. Even though pre-med is probably a little bit higher priority. We'll see if he shreds something here. But there's no reason for me to take the damage since I don't get to do anything on my turn, so we will just block out and pass. There's a question of what card I should have kept there. I think it's either pre-med or read, personally. I went with the read, but it very easily could have been pre-med. We're not going to start blocking yet. We got Tunic up. That's pretty good. We're going to keep this for Arsenal. We can maybe block with this card. Oof, all right, we are in a bit of a cookie. Bit of a tight spot, especially with him having a full hand here. Ability to give an assassin attack go again. We might just be in trouble. Spider Bite, I didn't plan on blocking anyways, so might as well eat it. I love that little piercing symbol. Jotrick did a great job with that. Well, let's just see what kind of disruption he has. Oh, he's pitching. Maybe his disruption is kind of weak. He's played, what, 2 of his leaves, 2 of his CNCs. So he might not have disruption this turn. Let's hope. Let's hope that he does not have disruption this turn. That would be nice. Which would in turn means he's probably got damage. So we might be in trouble. But we'll see. I mean, Uzuri's a tough matchup. She's just good in the Ranger. That's kind of her whole deal. So I am not too mad at it. Oh, it was on me to pass. I'm glad I refreshed. And that was the turn? Oh my goodness. I'm glad I didn't block. Alright, so Skullbone, what do we got on top? I'm hoping it's a pump. It is not a pump, but that has potential. We've got Bolton Shot. I can go grab Infecting Shot or maybe like Endless or something. I think the potential to go wide here is too important. So read, it's actually not going to give us any extra information because we're just going to leave that on top. Then load in Bolton Shot. And this is already pumped, so it has go again. Ah, we shouldn't have looked. We should have just played read and kept the look for Codex. Let's lead with Ravenous Rabble, I think. Let's just look on top as well, which is nice. Ooh, it's a Battering Bolt. That's not that bad. He's just eating it. Good, good. And then, so we could have blocked with that, actually. Do we dominate into a Battering Bolt? Can't give it go again, because Snaps doesn't work on it. No, I think we just fire this. Because I can always Codex into something else, yeah. What is your hardest matchup so far? SOS says. Bravo or Dromi. Bravo or Dromi. It's probably Bravo, because Bravo is just straight up hard. Where Dromi is really, really hard, but every once in a while you just beat him. Like against Darkodius earlier in the stream, I'd say Darkodius is a really good Dromi player. And we almost got him, almost. So you can beat him. He beat me, so there you go. It shows you why the match is hard. But we had a shot at beating him. There was a chance, so can't be mad at that one. But Bravo, Bravo's hard. Bravo's super hard. And here we go. Bolton Shot is really hard for your opponents to deal with. And most of the time you have Codex, so it's like they're just going through all these mental gymnastics, and it's like, I'm gonna play something anyways. But we're in a tough spot here. 10 to 10. This is not exactly great. Oh wow, he's just not gonna block. It's actually great for us because then I can shoot off Drill Shot and snap it and then do something else. Nurse a Trap, that's who cares? Unless he can stop all the damage, I don't give a damn. Wow, okay, look at that. And now we get the snaps, which is gross. We're gonna do a lot of damage on this turn. Was that 4, 7, 4? So we're already up to 15 and we're gonna shoot a 5. So 20 damage. Not amazing, I suppose, but pretty good. Pretty good, all things considered. This is the power of Tunic right here. We will put it on the Tunic so he doesn't get an armor block. And now we will Codex. And if I had saved Skullbone here, I could look for Dominate, which is a bit of a bummer. What are we looking to do here? Oh, probably Sleep Dart, right? Sleep Dart or Remorseless. Yeah, I don't want him to be able to flip if at all possible. So yeah, we'll do Sleep Dart. Tunic. And he got rid of a Shred. We'd like to see that. We could have tried to blind Azalea there, but if you whiff, it's so bad. Now he's on a 2-card hand, you know. We get a Ponder so we can play around the inertia. I'm pretty happy with that, as a matter of fact. Which one happens first? Blah, 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 blah. I just want to make sure the inertia happens first. Perfect. Okay, cool. That worked out great. Oh my god, he's got the CNC every turn. Well, it's not the most primo of arsenals. We can block it for 5 if we give up our armor. Or if we give up 2 cards. I mean, I got a fistful of arrows. I'm not doing anything with these. Red in the ledger doesn't matter as much in this matchup, so I think we give up that. Okay. We're basically just looking to dominate him out here, so it's not super imperative. We could potentially kill him with just a 5. It's not exactly what we're looking for. Blind Azalea. Let's see what happens. We're looking for a pump. There it is. And we do the Endless because we're looking to keep an arsenal. Oh, Bolt and Shot is a great arsenal target if he does block this out. We should have enough pumps left in the deck that I think we can kill him. He's got a Sink Below, so that's pretty good for him, but with me at 10, I'm not super scared. Yep. I don't know if you guys can hear this music, but they just hit me with the Donkey Kong Country 2 Diddy's Conquest music when they're underwater. It's such a good song. I got the Nintendo Lofi beats running in the background. Scar for a Scar. With Azalea, you're almost never looking to block, and I believe that will hold true here. No blocks. Let's follow 6. She doesn't block unless you have like an arrow or 2 that's doing nothing in the hand. And I don't believe he has any 0 for 6s. He does have a 0 for 4. Alrighty then. We could maybe give up Tunic, but my only 3 block is my yellow. We definitely want to shoot Bolt and Shot with Go again. The trick is I want to load something after that. He doesn't have any reactions that'll kill me defensively, so I think I can drop to 2 here. Yeah, we'll just drop to 2. Make it 2-2. If I've got an arrow on top, then I just win, because I can shoot like a dominated 14, you know? There was the arrow on top, that's funny. But I got Read the Glide Path. Like, I should be able to find a Dominate here. Bottom that, Read the Glide Path. Give me an arrow. Any arrow will do. Endless Arrow. There we go. Dominate. I could put an aim counter on it, but it doesn't matter. Pre-med. Lace. And this should be a 13 with Dominate. Should kill almost anybody from 2, honestly. I'm the Dominate now. Show me the Isolate. GG. Good game. That's not bad. No, thank you. I appreciate the offer, but I am just about to wrap up the stream, so no quick rematch, unfortunately, because I am bursting at the seams from all this beer. But yeah, for Uzuri, it's not exactly a good matchup. I'll take it. Beat him 2 to -8. All right, cool. Well, I'm currently about to burst. All this beer has got to go somewhere, so I think I'm going to call it after that match. But I very enjoyed this stream. Thanks for coming and hanging out, you guys. Like, TheCardGuyz, thank you so much for the game. I'd like to fight you some more, man. You're a pretty good Flesh and Blood player. I'd really like to get some matches in sometime. It was a good time. And anybody else, if you were one of my opponents tonight, I feel like we had some randoms outside of TheCardGuyz. Maybe not. Maybe we had some stream watchers as well. But if you were one of those people, I appreciate the match. I really believe that Azalea is a great deck right now. She's super fun. Like, she just has so many good arrows and good on hits that you can combine and like mix together in good ways. Let me take a look at the chat, see if anything interesting is going on. Has been established. What creatures on Ravenous Rabble? I've always assumed he's like a little vampire demon guy. Load that. GG's. Great stream. Thanks so much, Thomas. I appreciate it. Well, I think we'll call it then. But I thank you so much for coming out and watching. Much love to every single one of you. This is a game we all appreciate, a game we all enjoy, a game that brings us together in the flesh and blood. And honestly, in this day and age, it's nice to have a game where we can play in physical, on paper, face to face. It's refreshing. It's a breath of fresh air. This is my first card game, so I can only imagine those of you who appreciate it even more than me. So thanks for being who you are. Thanks for believing in paper competitive card games, because fuck, I just love it. But much love, everybody. You guys have a great rest of your night. Have a good weekend, and